this right here is 3.2, the structure of the Constitution. It's in Unit 3. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you want to do.
Post notifications.
Yes. Make sure you ding that bell.
Don't say it like that.
Okay. So, structure of the Constitution, pay attention. You have a question about the Supremacy Clause as your exit ticket.
Supremacy what?
Okay, so here we go. The anatomy of the Constitution. So let's talk about what the different parts of the Constitution today. The main purpose of the Constitution is to provide a framework of government. I've said that a couple times to you guys already. The Constitution is also the highest authority in the nation. So we'll get to that point with the exit ticket where I'm asking, what is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So the Constitution also gives the powers to the three branches of government. So it has three main parts. First part is the preamble. You might have heard of that before.
Oh no, someone's late.
Then you have the 7 articles, part 2. And then the third part is any changes that come after the ratification of the Constitution. The first 10 of those are called the Bill of Rights, and then 17 more after that. And they're all called amendments, and that's what it is, changes to the Constitution.
Caleb, do a noise.
Alright, so the preamble is the introduction to the Constitution. It states the goals and purposes of government. You've probably heard this before. When I was in high school, my civics teacher made us stand up in front of the class and recite it.
Do we have to do
I
that?
made an 80 on that assignment.
It's a schoolhouse rock song.
One time I remembered like 20 numbers of pi. And I learned something. It was in middle school. And
Alright, so
oh,
the
I
first
remember
part,
that too.
it says, we the people. So it makes it clear the government gets its power from the people and exists to serve them. So the very first thing in the Constitution basically saying, we the people give permission to this document to provide the framework of government.
Ow.
Alright, the middle part states, and this is of the preamble, states the 6 purposes of government. So, 1, form a more perfect union. 2, establish justice. 3, ensure domestic tranquility, which is domestic peace. 4, provide for the common defense. Establish a military. Number 5, promote the general welfare, as in the welfare of its constituents, the people, the United States citizens. Number 6, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. So, those are the 6 purposes of government, specifically listed that the Constitution is going to try to ensure and protect for us American citizens. Come on, man. The 7 articles. So these are 7 different parts, but we're going to talk about all 7 articles right here. The articles explain how government is to work. So Article 1 is the legislative branch. We know that as Congress, they make the laws. Okay, so it's made up of 2 houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Describes how many members each house will be chosen and how they will be chosen. Rules on how to make laws. We'll talk about that soon. Delegated powers, implied powers, and denied powers. So there are specific powers listed for the legislative branch. And then there are implied powers, which means that they're not specifically listed, but Congress and the legislative branch takes those liberties and actually has more power than they actually need. So it's actually called, there's another clause, it's called the necessary and proper clause. And Congress can do anything necessary and proper to continue to ensure all of those 6 goals that are listed in the
They're
preamble.
watching CNN in the next room.
Article 2 is the executive branch. So this enforces the laws, right? This is the president. So it's headed by the president and vice president. It lists the powers of the president and vice president. It shows how they're elected and how leaders can be removed from office, like impeachment. So all in Article 2, all listed. Oh my gosh, I pressed the wrong button, everybody.
I hurt my ankle. That's so aggressive.
An opportunity presented itself.
I have a scratch on my ankle and it really hurts. Did I ask?
You're so rude.
Wow.
I can't get this.
What's wrong with it?
I need to click this button right here, and I can't get it. There it is. Boom. Got it. Come
Oh.
on. Work.
Yes.
Just keep going through it without, okay.
Okay.
Only a question.
Article 3 is the judicial branch. It interprets the laws. Again, it's the Supreme Court, lower courts. It gives powers to the federal courts, all listed in the Constitution. Article 4, relations between states. So this states that citizens of each state are guaranteed rights in other states, which are listed in the Constitution. Again, it's the supreme law of the land. And states must respect each other's legal decisions. So it's called the full faith and credit clause. And it basically says states, they can make their, they have their own governments, their own rules. And once you cross those state lines, you do have to adhere by those rules. Article 5 is the amendment process. So this actually goes through and pretty much shows us the process for changing the Constitution. The Constitution hasn't been changed in your lifetime. It's been changed once in my lifetime.
When did they change it?
Early 90s, 92,
Why?
93, and they changed it. They basically said that senators, members of the both houses of government can't vote to give themselves raises.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah. So that's what the 27th Amendment is. So this is the process for changing the Constitution. We'll talk about it a little bit more in depth, but you can see that this little graphic here, so a proposal, so a constitutional amendment can be proposed in one of two ways. So by 2/3 of the members of both the House and the Senate, okay, so 67% of 535 members of Congress, if they vote, okay, we can propose a new amendment. Or at a convention called by 2/3 of the states, and you would send delegates of the states, and they would handle it that way, and then 67% of 50 states would have to vote to propose a change to the Constitution. Ratification, remember that is pretty much the actual changing of it, the vote to change it. After an amendment is proposed, it must be ratified. This can be done in one of two ways. By 3/4 of the state legislatures, so 75% of the states, or by 75% of ratifying conventions in the states. So those are different ways to do it, but it's been done. Okay, it's been done 27 times, so it can be done again. It probably will be done again in your lifetime. We just don't know what it is yet. All right, Article 6, national supremacy. So here you go. Here's your exit ticket. It's the supremacy clause. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and federal law prevails over state law. I think the best example of this at this exact moment would be marijuana laws. So marijuana laws by state differ, right? So some states have the ability to buy recreational marijuana. Some states have the ability to buy medical marijuana.
did you hear that? Okay, sorry.
And some states have none of that ability. But under federal law, marijuana is still illegal. So federal agents can go into California or Colorado or Washington state, and they can raid the dispensaries and they can take all the marijuana and they can dispose of it however they want, and that is perfectly fine, because what law is supreme? the federal law. So it doesn't matter what the state has necessarily said. If, for some reason, the state law goes against federal law prevails. It is called the supremacy clause. So, it's interesting, yeah.
Can Kenzie go to the bathroom?
Yeah,
And-
right her pass.
A pass. Okay.
Um,
And did you hear that in like Oregon or something, they like decriminalized all opioids?
yeah,
Why did they do that?
I don't know. They,
What song is it?
decriminalization of drugs seems to be a pretty popular idea with society, but that's going to take so long to change. Government takes so much longer than society's. So society has to change, then the state governments, and then federal government. That's how it goes.
You're welcome. Yeah, but like, I don't understand how they can do
I hope you're
that.
not really going through this because I'm do not believe this good.
All right, Article 7 is ratification, so the Constitution would take effect when 9 out of 13 states ratified it or approved it. We've gone over that. Remember that North Carolina ratified the Constitution after the Constitution was already ratified.
Yeah,
So,
we're slow.
we're kind of behind. All right, the amendments. So this is the third part. There have been 27 amendments or changes to the Constitution. The first 10 amendments of the Constitution are called the Bill of Rights. We're going to spend extensive time on this next
On the Bill of
week.
Rights?
No, on all the amendments.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have to know every single amendment.
What's the 16th Amendment?
Oh my gosh.
I'm quizzing you. See, he doesn't even know.
No, I do.
Blake would know that answer.
No, I do know it.
Blake Lewis?
It is,
Yeah, Blake
The love of
knows.
your life?
My love of
14th
my life.
16th is income tax or direct elections of senators, or is that 17th?
16. Is it 16 women's rights?
No,
It's not?
19.
19.
I can't remember the top.
The
I'm
19th
telling
is
you,
the
my
women's
brain just
suffrage.
stopped
I
working
really
today.
hope you're not actually going to read this.
All right, so I think that's all we got today.
Yay!
Yay, we did it, everybody. We went through the parts of the Constitution. I'm so proud of us, and I want you guys to know you're my 14th favorite class I've ever taught.
What about us?
14!
Like, does they count as a separate class?
I think we're all kind of tired today.
I don't know what it is.
It's the past.
I'm done. So, all right,
Oh
I'll
my
be right back.
God.
I gotta stop this video.